Now let's go to another part of security where after months of the nation seemingly crying that the service chiefs should be changed. Now he finally listened and changed. But now another issue now is the Inspector General of Police, where his tenure has been extended by 3 months, and according to the president is to give them more time to get a proper replacement successor for the IGP.
That is a very lame excuse.
Laughable.
Very, very lame and laughable excuse. You see, in my language, they say that it means when the war has a date, it does not kill a lame person. That is because the lame person would have known the date and then would have started moving to somewhere that is safe. This IG was not going to, did not resign suddenly. He was going to retire on a particular date, which is 1st of February. Since last year, the papers have been writing that the IG will retire on the 1st of February 2021. The president knew very well that the IG would will retire by reason of a function of time, 35 years in service. And he did not make any arrangement for a replacement. And he's now saying that he extends it. You see, the president, I sympathize with the president because I don't know those who are handling his legal issues. How can a president sit down and allow an Inspector General of Police to retire? And after retirement, 2 days after retirement, you now say you have extended the service of the Inspector General of Police.
Okay, I heard Barrister Tete still on. I'll come back to you. So let's hear your view on the bearing of arms and, of course, the IGP's tenure extension, if you're still on.
The last point we were discussing, I know you've moved on to discussing the issue of the IG now. First and foremost, we have the Firearms Act in Nigeria that allows anybody to apply to own a gun. You can either apply, the president has the prerogative to granting the license to own more sophisticated weapons, while the Commissioner of Police will exercises on behalf of the president the powers to also grant licenses to own guns like pump action and double barrel and all of those kind of guns. And again, in as much as we're not happy with what's going on with all of the things that the way our government is being carried on, we still have a president, and he still gives directives. So I would plead with my learned colleague there to take it easy in describing the president not as a lame duck, but a president who is having a lot of difficulties. I criticize him all the time, but I would dare not describe him in such terms. Meanwhile, you're talking about, again, another anomaly from the government, the federal government, in the extension of the Inspector General of Police tenure. That is unnecessary. You don't, for flimsy reasons, without proper grounds, disregard our time-tested public service rules, which provide that upon the attainment of the age of 60, a public servant must retire, or having served the number of years of amounting to 35 years in service must retire. There is no shortage of competent persons in the police. Now again, this gives room and gives some measure of credibility to what I would say rumor. I wouldn't use the word conspiracy theory anymore. That the presidency also is uncomfortable with having persons of other ethnic group other than Hausa Fulani Muslims from heading the security, an important security agency like the police. That is not good. It would have been, Nigerians were eagerly waiting to see that the president will appoint someone that would disabuse their minds with regards to this suspicion on the part of majority of Nigerians that we have unnecessary and unprecedented nepotism on the part of the president in the appointment of security officials in this country. So extending the tenure by 3 months was unnecessary. It breaches the law, and it's something that we hope that the president and his handlers, my senior learned friend over there, has expressed his frustration with regards to the pitiable condition the president will find himself when his handlers are not competent, when his handlers misadvise him, when they don't tell him point blank that this breaches the law that you have signed, and that you cannot superintend over the the disobedience of Nigerian law by federal government. So we hope in the shortest possible time the president will retrace his steps, either asking the IG to go or in order to appoint a substantive Inspector General of Police. In this case, we feel insulted as a country, and that it's painful that the president will disobey a Nigerian law that he himself signed. Talking about the Police Act 2020, it came to a point where people began to doubt, did the president actually sign that act, or is he waiting to give assent to it? If he did, why would he not appoint a Inspector General of Police but extend his tenure?
So finally, on the security situation, Nigerians are still very angry with the service chiefs that just left, and the president seemed to be having a sentimental attachment to these guys because he has nominated them as non-career ambassadors. What do you think about that? And because PDP have come out to say that he's trying to shield them from prosecution.
All right, thank you very much. You see, this is interesting. Let us see it as a form of expressing gratitude to the former service chief, because even though we know that diplomatic immunity is granted to ambassadors, when it comes to actions and investigations to be carried out by the International Criminal Court, even a sitting president can be arrested based on an arrest warrant. So the International Criminal Court is not restricted by, I'm talking by the provisions of the Rome Statute. It's not restricted in issuing arrest warrants on anybody, including a head of state, a sitting head of state. It has done that for Omar Bashir of Sudan. And it's so, if to the best of my knowledge, many petitions have been submitted against the person of Lieutenant General Burutai retired, for example. They are just being investigated. That they have been appointed as ambassadors today will not stop the investigation. And if and when their actions breach the provisions of the Rome Statute, particularly with the offenses of war crimes or crimes against humanity, they will be arrested, whether they are in Nigeria or outside Nigeria. There will be an arrest warrant to be issued against them, and processes will be put in place. Interestingly, Nigeria is a very powerful and influential country in the International Criminal Court. The president has been to the court to go and address it. The court relies heavily on Nigeria. I believe that there is more to it, and we can simply and safely take it that is just an expression of gratitude. Buhari, like you rightly said, believed so much in the service chief, but for the clamor of many Nigerians, including National Assembly, they would not have been removed. And the president wants to make them feel comfortable. But I hope that they are not found culpable by the investigations currently going on at the International Criminal Court at The Hague. Okay,
I hope a lot of Nigerians share the sentiment, because well, anyway, thank you so much for being part of the program, Barrister Frank Tietie, a legal practitioner. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, and my pleasure.
Let's get back to this. You don't seem to agree with that.
You can be sure that I don't. I don't. Actually, let me finish the aspect of the appointment or extension of the tenure of the
IGP.
Inspector General of Police. Now, Section 215 of the Nigerian Constitution, which the President swore to uphold, subsection, Section 1 says, an Inspector General of Police who, subject to Section 216 sub 2 of this Constitution, shall be appointed by the President on the advice to the Nigerian Police Council from among serving members of the Nigerian Police Force. From among serving members of the Nigerian Police Force. Now, Section 18, subsection 8 of the Police Act.
You came really armed, man.
Of the Police Act, which the President, this current President, signed into law. It says every police officer shall, on recruitment or appointment, serve in the Nigerian Police Force for a period of 25 years. Or until he attains the age of 60 years, whichever is earlier. So it means that as at the time the Inspector General served his 35 years in service, he had automatically retired. So as we speak, this country has no Inspector General of Police. That man is on his own. The president has no power on his own to just sit down and extend the tenure of somebody who had already retired from service. And in fact, in this particular case, the man is no longer a police officer. And so what the president has done is unconstitutional, is illegal, is abnormal, and is something that people should not just keep quiet about. I mean, because it is an insult on our sensibility, it's an insult on Nigerians that we are here, those who know what is the Constitution contains and the Act contains, we will keep quiet and allow this kind of impunity to go.
I mean, this president has been known to violate the Constitution, you know, on several grounds, and this is just one of it.
Well, the case of this IG is like bringing the dead back to life. As at 1st of February, the man has ceased to be a police officer and as an IG 2 days after. So, is for him to come back as an IG, he should have gone back to police college, really, to, you know, start from the scratch, because he's no longer a police officer. So, are we now putting retired men back in the force? I mean, it beats my imagination that we have a lot of people around the president who should know better.
But on the other hand, the president seems to be out of touch with the reality. I mean, you should be able to tell when your advisors are not telling you the truth.
Very well, very well. But unfortunately, this president does not seem to be in touch with the realities on ground.
Maybe he doesn't know what he signed. He doesn't know what he signed in the Police Act.
It's possible.
I'm sure he didn't read it.
And the unfortunate thing about this issue is that virtually every reasonable person has spoken against what he has done, but the president will keep quiet. He has not said anything. He feels that we are just talking, and he knows Nigerians that when you speak after some time, you just keep quiet and you are tired.
So the truth of the matter is, if we had a court system that would adjudicate quickly, it would have made a difference. Because now, if you institute an action in court now, that matter will not be heard until probably the 3 months has gone.
Or even 2 years time. You know? So as we round up this topic, talk about the former service chief, as a non-career ambassador. Are you also subscribing to the
It's like repeating a class. You failed primary 4, then they are taking you up to primary 5. I don't understand that situation. These people failed flagrantly. What are they going to do?
So do you subscribe to the PDP's opinion that the president is trying to shield them from prosecution? Well, because I mean, there's been a lot of allegations against them. The highest been extrajudicial killings, especially the Lekki toll gate, you know, and all that.
You see, a crime has no lifespan. So if they are not prosecuted today, if they are found guilty, they can be prosecuted 5 years after. So whether I do not believe that he's shielding them. I mean, probably he's just giving them a favor. These are people that probably I'm sure they have something between them. And then he's trying to still keep them around, you know. But I mean, shielding them, I don't think so, because I mean, it doesn't expire.
I think probably the president in his own thinking believes that he is trying to shield them from prosecution. He's not aware, possibly, he's not aware that no matter what happens, these people can still be prosecuted. That International Court of Justice does not take into consideration your immunity, your sovereignty, and all that.
That is if there's anything to prosecute them about.
Well, after investigation, if they are found liable, they are found to have been. If there are necessary ingredients in the crime that they need to explain, then they will be asked to come over and explain. That is exactly what. And I think probably the president just wanted to compensate them for being good politicians. And it's very unfortunate because what
Okay,
we are seeing,
I don't understand what that means.
But is it not compensation enough that they were service chiefs? I was reading the pages of the newspaper how all the things they had to cut away. I don't know how true it is when they were leaving. It is compensation enough that you're a chief of staff, chief of defense staff, because those are political offices. They are not military offices. They appoint you